a government, and this is what I strive for. It is hard to imagine a government that is solely, its sole mission is to cater and to serve its people. That sounds weird. I know I sound like I should be in some fantasy Twilight movie. Like, what? The government is serving its citizens? Hey, what's going on? Thanks for watching Power to the Pod, where we're committed to intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I am your host, Superior, and today we are here to talk about Neil Tyson, his interview with Chris Cuomo. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Cuomo. We all know Chris Cuomo. He used to be an anchor for CNN. I started off by watching CNN when I was younger and kind of departed from it because I kind of seen some weird, just some stuff. I was like, yeah, this is not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can lean too far left and it's just kind of embarrassing in a way. But I never really had too much of an issue with Chris Cuomo, and he has a podcast on YouTube. And when I seen that he had an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, I had to click on it. And one person, okay, when someone is speaking, I don't, it doesn't really matter if you agree with them or not politically or whatever issues. Almost like Jordan Peterson, even though I probably disagree with him 99% of the time, I want to listen to what he got to say because he sounds like he knows some things. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit down, take some notes, and listen. When it comes to Mr. Tyson, when he speaks, you need to just sit down and take a listen and see what you can pick up from him. You may not agree with him politically or scientifically. I don't know if you're in that field, but he does have some gems that you can put in your pocket for saving. All right, here's one example where he's talking about how politicians in the government should be working for us. Let's take a listen.
We need to do this. By the way, it's not even the statement that you were wrong, because at the time
you were right.
Right. So it's not about right or wrong. Is at any given moment, what does the best evidence tell you?
But in politics, a change of position,
and I'm going to tell you,
weakness.
We need to train, whatever word you want to use, a generation of people who are not susceptible to that in politicians. Not only that, I'll say it here, but I haven't tweeted it yet, okay? It's maybe in this democracy, it's a republic, I get it, but representative democracy, we should think of our politicians not as our leaders, but as our followers. And so the more educated we are, the more enlightened we are, that puts a mandate on our, quote, leaders to do exactly what we say, not for them to make statements to require what we do. They should really be viewed as our followers.
People like to be led. They like it easy.
They like it easy. All right, so I mean that was just what, 2-minute clip right there, but can you imagine a society where our politicians are following the majority's lead? I know that's hard to fathom, like, because we're in a system to where our politicians are programmed in a way to tell us what we should be doing, or telling us what benefits us, or telling us what's good for us. Is what, 300, 600 of them dudes and women, and it's how many citizens? And you're telling that these few people know what's better for us millions of people who are working every single day to put food on our table and put a roof over our kids' heads? You telling me these rich folks knows what's best for me? No. It's hard to even imagine a government And this is what I strive for. It is hard to imagine a government that is solely its sole mission is to cater and to serve its people. That sounds weird. I know I sound like I should be in some fantasy Twilight movie. Like what? The government is serving its citizens? Yes. There should be no. America is quote unquote the greatest country in the world, right? It should be not one homeless person, unless that person says, you know what, looks you in the face and say, I want to be homeless. I don't want no responsibilities. I want to live out in the cold. I want to beg for money. Then, okay, I get it. Do what you want. It's a free country. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be too many of those kind of people. Give them a chance. Give them an opportunity. I guarantee you, it should not be hungry children in America if the government is there to serve its citizens. It shouldn't be a lack of wages. People shouldn't have to work 2 to 3 jobs, 40, 50 hours a week each job. Are you kidding me? That doesn't even mathematically make sense to me. Working 2, 3 jobs just to maintain a small family. Like, really? And I guarantee is going to be 1 or 2 of those idiots who's going to be in my comment section like, well, that's what you have to do. If you want to live in America, you got to work 2, 3 jobs and work 40, 50, 60 hours a week and barely have no life. And when you're 70, don't even think about retiring because, hey, the Republicans is taking that away. Social Security. Adios, amigo. You know what I'm saying? So it is weird. And Chris kind of chuckled at it. Like, people like to be, hey, there's a lot of people who like to be led. But like Mr. Tyson said, you have to educate yourself. Understand yourself. Understand your position in life. Understand how the economy works. Understand how big corporation and profits work and how they're paying their employees. And be like, hey, I did some adding of these numbers. You know what I'm saying? I carried a few numbers. I multiplied a few numbers. You know, the decimals. I moved the decimals. I did a couple fractions. And it ain't adding up. I don't understand why I'm barely making it. And my company that I've been working for a few years has just profited 300%. How does that make sense? You know, I made sure my decimals was in the right place and it don't make sense. That's how it should be. The government should be enforcing these companies to pay a livable wage, especially if they can afford it. Especially if they can afford it. Schools. What's the benefit of obtaining an education that might, it's not even a guarantee anymore, that might be able to put you in a better financial position when you graduate, but it costs an arm and a leg for something that might work. Like, what? You can't sell that to me. Government needs to make education affordable. What's wrong? Why do you want a whole bunch of dummies in your country when you want everybody to be educated? Damn, force education. How we force high school and middle school, force college. Make it mandatory. Make everybody be comfortable with reading and researching. Like, I know that makes sound a little crazy, but I'm tired of talking to a whole bunch of dummies on a day-to-day basis. It gets tiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, healthcare. Why do people need to beg to live in the wealthiest country in the world? Why is there people barely making it because of their insulin or whatever medical stuff that they need to buy why do they need to either decide to put food on their table or pay rent or put their kids in college against living, or in order to buy their subscriptions to whatever the doctors prescribe to them? Why is that even a conversation? But no, our government is here to make sure the rich get richer and the poor stay begging. That seems what it is like now. I don't know if anybody can deny that. If you can, you better have a hell of a excuse. In a perfect world, which is not that far off to me, the government should be taking care of its citizens. Just like the military. Everyone always likes to say, oh, the military, we need to pump in billions and billions of dollars for our protection. What good is pumping all that money into a military to defend us from, the dangers abroad? I get it. But what good is that if your own people are suffering on the inside? What good is it to buy, for your house, the top line security system? You got cameras, you got, infrared, you got the fingerprint scanner, you got everything. You got the whole works. I get it. You want to protect your home. You got 25 different guns. You ready to protect your family. But what good is all that protection if you don't have nothing to eat at home? What good is all that protection if you can't even afford health care? It doesn't make any sense to me. But of course, I'm going to find a couple of dummies in my comment section defending. And I'm pretty sure they're probably just as broke as everybody else defending this broke system that I guess we're kind of stuck in.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.